what's 34 innings. That's about four starts extra. That Verlander might have 4 or 5 starts. Anything could happen in those starts. That pretty shiny 1.89 ERA that he's sporting.
Right.
He can come out, go 2 innings and give up 8 runs, and that ERA jumps from a 1.89 to about a 2.5. Like where
just like
Justin's
that.
just like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. That's all it takes. So you never know what those extra innings could entail for Blake Snell. He had a hell of a season, like I said, but I'm going to have to, cross him out just for the fact that he didn't pitch as much as Kluber and Verlander. Now, Kluber and Verlander, I look at the strikeouts next. Just look at Verlander. 70 more strikeouts than Kluber.
Right, I see it.
Verlander has the better ERA. I got to go with the old man Verlander, man. the guy could still play. He could still pitch. He's one of those pitchers that started off as a fastball, blow it past you.
Right.
When he got older, he finessed it and hit his spots, and he's just whenever the Yankees play him, I know we can't touch the guy. He's always been
the Yankee killer.
Yeah, he's always killed us, man. We can't touch Verlander. I wish he would retire, but he probably still got a few years left. I'm going to have to give it to the old man Verlander on that one.
All right. That's what's up.
But with recognition of Blake Snell, if he had more innings pitched, I would give it to him. But you can't because of that. That ERA is sexy, though. 1.89, man. Whew. That's pretty. I would like that on my team,
I feel you. All right,
yeah, so you know what an ERA is?
Yeah, and innings run, earned runs average.
Earned run average,
yeah,
yep. So every 9 innings pitched, he gives up 1.89.
Right. That's impressive.
That is. I mean, all these ERAs are impressive, but, man, it's always nice to see an under 2 ERA.
And then also, whenever anytime I tune into baseball, like the first stat I always go to is home runs, no matter if it's a pitcher or if it's a batter, a hitter. And again, with Blake Snell, only 16 home runs given up as well.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
And to be in a division with the Yankees and Red Sox,
right? That's
saying something right there. Mm-hmm. But I know he dominated us. I don't know what he did against the Red Sox, but he pitched his ass off against us. We had trouble with this. He's young though. He's up and coming, so I'm sure we'll see his name up again here next year.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, so the pick though is definitely Verlander, but you have Blake Snell a close second.
Yeah, they don't have the records up here. That's another thing that would tell. But the thing is with records, there's such a fabricated stat because you can have a 4-something ERA, but your team you can have like great run support for yourself, and you could end up with a 20-game win season. With a 4.50 ERA, it just
even though you didn't really pitch that well, just that your offense just came through for you.
Yep,
like crazy. I got you.
Yeah.
So that can be inflated, and that's a lot of like with Kershaw too, because I see a lot of times like people usually claim him as the best pitcher in the league, but then you take a look at his numbers. And like his wins and the win-loss ratio really isn't like too crazy or nothing like that.
No,
like from what you expect, the way they talk about him in the media. So I definitely get what you're saying about that, how that can be inflated.
Yeah. So just to even not have the stat up there, it really isn't saying that much because, like I said, some of these guys like Jake DeGrom, if you check his win-loss record this year, he actually went 9-8. And that's not to say that he had a bad. He pitched the best out of anybody. I'm already going into the NL side.
Yeah, let's go ahead and transition to the NL side. So the NL, you got the 3 winners, 3 candidates. You have Jake DeGrom, Max Scherzer, and then Aaron Nola from Philly. Mm-hmm. All right, so you're talking about Jake DeGrom. I'm assuming that's the route you're going. That's the way you're leaning towards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, give me some details on him. Educate the people. Educate me.
Jake DeGrom, man. That best pitcher in the league this year. Both sides. Hands down. Nobody was a better pitcher than Jacob DeGrom this year. I mean, look at his strikeouts. 269 strikeouts. You go down to Scherzer, he had 300, but it's almost a whole run difference.
Right.
Scherzer, he'd be second on this list for me. He's definitely a stud, but if I had to pick any pitcher in the league right now, I'm picking Jacob DeGrom, and
And only 10 home runs given up.
Only 10 home runs given up. I mean, although he plays in City Field. Yeah, City Field. It's tough to hit home runs there because for some reason, their fences, I don't know, they wanted to do the complete opposite of what Yankee Stadium and go to a big field. So,
right.
I mean, that has something to say about his home runs as well. But still, I mean, these guys are hitting bombs today, so it really doesn't matter. Just to give up 10 home runs, that's crazy. 217 innings pitched, 10 home runs, man.
Okay,
that's saying something right there.
And then what about Aaron Nola? What about him?
He's a young stud, up and coming, man. Just an honorable mention on this list. He's on his way, man. Next couple years, you might see him get one, but it's tough with the NL has got a lot of good pitchers because the pitchers hit, so it makes their ERA look a little better than what it would if they were in the AL where you have a DH. That's why the NL usually has a couple guys a year that pitch under a 2 ERA because, you get to the 8th, 9 guy, say there's 2 outs, and you're trying to get out of the inning, walk the 8th hitter, and then here comes the pitcher.
Right, yeah.
Pitchers can't hit.
Right, yeah, they're not going against like an actual hitter, in the AL where they got the DH. I feel you.
So, I mean, their stats are a little fabricated in a bit. Even if you look at Max Scherzer, he pitched in the AL at Detroit.
Right.
Had great seasons, but once he moved to the NL, his ERA just got even better.
Right.
It's one thing that I hate about AL to NL. I wish they would just, get rid of pitchers hitting. I like to tune in and see a pitcher hit every now and then, but most of the time he's striking out or grounding out, and it's just not good for baseball. Get a DH in the NL, and let's end that.
All right. So, final picks. Again, I want to recap. So, in the AL, for Cy Young winner, we're going with Verlander.
Verlander, yep.
And then in the NL, we're rolling with Jacob DeGrom from the New York Mets. All right, perfect.
And I'll tell you what, this is off the Cy Young.
Yeah, side note.
But side note is Yankees, when the Red Sox win the World Series, they get desperate. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Yankees make a move for this kid, Jake DeGrom. I would not be surprised. Look for that in the next few months because the Yankees need an ace. And where are you going to get an ace from without trading? They're going to trade. They're going to do something to get this kid on their team. I'm telling you.
The Yankees, let's talk about them for a little bit before we talk about the MVP candidate. So, who is the Yankees' best pitcher right now, in your opinion?
It would have to be Luis Severino, but he looked like an ace all the way up until about July 4th, and then he looked like the worst pitcher in the league after that. He had flashes of that, beginning of the season look, but he really just took a nosedive. I believe he had a 2.30 ERA going into July 4th, somewhere around there. And after he ended up with a 6.5 ERA on the rest of the season. So finish off with a 3-something ERA, which isn't bad, but you got to see some consistency when it comes to pitching. I mean, I'd rather have you have a 4 ERA and give up, 3-4 runs a game rather than give up 2 runs or give up 1 run this game and then 8 runs the next. Because you have a chance to win those 4-run games.
Right.
But it's tough to win a game when your starting pitcher gives up 8 runs in the first 3 innings. That's not the consistency you want. You want consistent, pitching, and then he just didn't have it this year. So I would say Severino though, because the Yankees pitching really wasn't there. I mean, Tanaka maybe. Tanaka, he's the same way though. It's the same way. We just can't get it right.
Yeah, I feel you. Okay, all right. So, So let's go ahead and talk about the MVP candidates here. So they announced the 3 MVP candidates, and for the where'd I put that at? Put it on a separate sheet? Yeah. I did. All right. So we have the 3 MVP candidates in the AL, and then we have the 3 MVP candidates in the NL. So again, we're going to start out with the AL, and we have my man Mike Trout from my Los Angeles Angels. We have the man Mookie Betts. That's the best name in baseball. I don't care. And then we also have Jose Ramirez from the Cleveland Indians. Mookie from the Red Sox and Ramirez from the Indians. So, in your opinion, Dave, again, who do you think is going to win? Who do you think should win? But who do you think is going to win?
I don't. I'm just astounded that JD Martinez isn't a finalist. I don't understand. The guy hit. He's the reason why the Red Sox won the World Series. He's the reason why they got there. They got the best record. You could say Mookie Betts was their best player, but Mookie Betts has been on that team. That's the same team. They added JD and they took off. That's literally the same team. They really didn't make any moves, like big moves like that other than JD Martinez. So I just don't understand why he's not on this list. That would be my MVP. But with the three that we have here, Mike Trout, he's Mike Trout. He's like the LeBron James of baseball. Like the guy gets no mention. He'll be up there in the MVP candidates every year, but he's not going to win because, he's already won a couple. So take him off the list. Jose, solid season. Great season, I'd say. 39 home runs, definitely improving every year. But if JD's not on it, you got to go with Mookie Betts. The guy's got a 346 average, hit 32 home runs, 80 RBIs, 30 stolen bags.
Right.
And he's a Gold Glove winner, too. So all around, his game is there. I think JD's not on this list because he's only a DH and he doesn't play defense, which isn't fair to him because the guy just raked this year. He's definitely the reason why they won the World Series. But that's just my opinion. I mean, maybe if Nick was here today, I guarantee he'd say Mookie Betts. But, I mean, we've always been going at it all year. I'd say JD. He'd say Mookie. It is what it is.
I got you. Okay. Let me ask you this as well. So, with baseball, how much does a team success play into the MVP candidacy?
Not too much, because if you look at last year in the NL, who won Stanton, they didn't even make the playoffs. Stanton won the MVP. They didn't even make the playoffs. So it's not like like basketball or football where if you have this great season, they don't overlook that because your team isn't having a good year. They still give you that award. That's one thing I like about baseball is they're not gonna shame you because you had a bad season. And Trout, they never really had good seasons with him there. I mean, maybe one or two, but I mean, he's won his MVP. I know that,
right?
And they say it every year because he plays for this team and has great seasons, but he just can't get over that hump and win the MVP, because he is the MVP every year. He's the best baseball player in the game, period. Hands down. Nobody sees him play because he plays on the West Coast and they play at nighttime and nobody's trying to stay up that late, so he gets overlooked. But we all know who the best baseball player in the league is. It's Mike Trout, hands down.
Okay. I do want to get your opinion on the Angels after we talk about the NL candidates. So your NL candidates. All right, so real quick recap. So the AL, you have Mookie Betts winning it. And then in the NL, we have the three finalists here. So you have a Christian Yelich. You have Nolan Arenado. Okay, for the Rockies. And then you have Javier Baez. Javier Baez.
Love me
for the
Javi Baez. That's my guy.
Chicago Cubs. All right, so again, who do you think is going to win? Who do you want to win? Who do you think is going to win?
I love Javi Baez. I'd love to see him win one, but you got to give this to Christian Yelich because he's just that Milwaukee team. And you know what's crazy about Christian Yelich is he played for the Marlins last year. Mm-hmm. So Jeter came in and traded Christian Yelich to the Brewers, traded Stanton to the Yankees. That's 2 MVPs in 2 years that you just traded off of your team.
Yeah, what the fuck was Jeter doing?
Oh, he came in and they were just in the hole, man. They were in a big hole deficit. You had to get rid of, you gave $300 million to Stanton, and you're gonna have to pay Yelich. They got rid of D. Gordon, another great player, and they got rid of Ozuna, another great player. They had to do that because they were in such a deep hole
I got
to
you.
where they had to just
So it's more
restart.
It's like a money thing. Like we need to clear out this money.
Yep.
And then just start fresh. Start with a clean slate.
Yep. That's exactly what.
And